Third Avenue was almost empty now. A handful of people kept the vigil alongside the flag-draped coffin, while New York's finest, leaning into the doorway 845 Third Avenue, held up the building that housed the British consulate. Small groups of people spoke in low voices as they acknowledged the arrival of the new people, or the return of people who had left earlier to watch the late-night news on the local Clancy's. The traffic on the avenue had thinned to a 10-to-1 majority of taxis over buses, trucks, and cars. People gazed from the windows of these cars as they waited for the light to change. Now and then you heard from the occupants of the cars, "Up the rah," or "Keep it up, boys." I stood on the outside of the barrier watching the city that never sleeps get drowsy. You can look down Third Avenue from 51st Street for miles and watch the ever-changing Department of Traffic light show red to yellow to green over and over again as the spaces between the moving white lights become wider as the hours get later. On this particular night last week, I was talking to a couple of people who, after nearly 3 weeks of manning the all-night vigil, were not surprised at anything that happened. All agreed that you don't need a full moon in this town to bring out the coops. That hard glow of neon will handle the job nicely. Then something happened that startled even myself, a streetwise native New Yorker. A yellow cab slowed to a stop, and the driver's door opened. I looked at Dave Gould, who was standing next to me, as the driver, who looked like a million other cabbies in this town, came around his cab with a plastic-wrapped bouquet of yellow flowers. Tommy McHenry, who was standing beside the coffin, moved towards the police barrier, and the cabbie placed the flowers in his hands, and he spoke softly. "I am Greek, and I know what these Brits are. We have dealt with them ourselves. Please take these as my tribute to the brave man." He headed back to his cab, leaving all of us in silence, and as he opened the door, he raised his accented voice a notch, and he said, "Remember, heroes never die." The cab started and made the light. We watched the red flashing taillights slowly blend into the uptown traffic. No one spoke for what seemed like quite a while, and when we did, I guess we all agreed that the man who works the night watch in this hard and cold city had said it all. Written by Brian Moore.